There is a silent pain that many mothers and fathers carry in their hearts. That feeling of watching the children you sacrificed everything for begin to treat you with indifference, looking at you as if you were invisible, answering you with impatience or dismissive tones. And when you speak with love, you can't help but wonder what you did wrong. Did you not give enough? Did you not love enough? Or maybe you loved too much, in a way that unintentionally pushed them away. If you are a mother or father and have ever felt that tightness in your throat when your child ignores you, when they choose friends over a moment with you, when they speak to you in a way that breaks your heart, please know this: you are not alone. And more importantly, there is a way through this, not through control, not through fear, but through a timeless wisdom that Confucius shared over 2,500 years ago, wisdom that remains as powerful today as it was then. If you give me a few minutes of your time, I'll show you how to regain not just your children's respect, but something far more precious, their genuine presence in your life, now and in your old age, when you will need it most. And if any of this makes sense to you, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Every subscription helps these messages reach families who are suffering in silence. But I don't want to stay only in theory. Now I want to show you how this wisdom appears in real life through the story of an American mother just like so many others who gave everything she had and still felt forgotten. I met her in a quiet suburban park in New Jersey on one of those golden afternoons when time seems to slow down. Her name was Margaret, 57 years old, with soft hazel eyes that held a familiar mixture of deep love and quiet sadness, the same look I've seen in countless parents. "My kids were everything to me," she told me as we drank coffee on a bench under the trees. "I gave up my career in accounting to raise them. Every morning I made their breakfast just the way they liked it. Every night I read bedtime stories, even when I was exhausted. I gave them everything I never had." She looked toward a playground where young children laughed and ran. Her own children, Daniel and Emily, now 33 and 29, lived in the same state, but barely visited once a month. And when they did, they spent more time staring at their phones than speaking to her. "Last month was my birthday," she continued, voice trembling. "I waited all day. Daniel texted me at 10 p.m. Emily didn't call until the next morning, said work was too busy." If you've ever felt this silent heartbreak, subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep spreading these messages, and it might be the first step to restoring peace inside your home. But what Margaret didn't understand then, and what many mothers don't realize, is that love without balance, love without boundaries, love without self-respect does not raise grateful, loving adults. It raises adults who assume your sacrifices are simply what you're supposed to do. Confucius expressed this clearly. Too much indulgence ruins a child. Too much severity hardens them. Virtue lives in balance. When Margaret invited me to her home, the problem became obvious. Her living room walls were covered in dozens of photos of her children, not one single photo of herself. Her entire identity had dissolved into motherhood. "And you, Margaret?" I asked her gently as she baked a pie in her spotless kitchen. "Where are your dreams, your passions, your life outside being a mother?" She looked at me almost confused. I don't know. I haven't thought about that in years." And this brings us to the first secret Confucius would teach today. 1. Your children's respect begins with your respect for yourself. Cultivate your own character, and your children will honor you naturally. Confucius. Margaret began her transformation with a small but meaningful step. She enrolled in an evening painting class, something she had always wanted to do. A week later, Emily called asking if her mom could watch her dog because she wanted to go to a party. Margaret did something she had never done before. She said no, gently but firmly. "I'd love to help another day, sweetheart, but I have my painting class tonight, and it's important to me." There was complete silence on the other end of the line. Emily, who had grown used to her mom dropping everything for her, didn't know what to say. And that silence marked the beginning of something powerful. She simply listened with the kind of presence Confucius valued so deeply.
listened completely before offering wise judgment. And when she finally spoke, she shared her experience, not as a mother who knows everything, but as a human being who has learned to live authentically. And slowly, the family healed. 2. True love does not overprotect. Love empowers. Confucius could have said it like this: teach to fish, do not give fish forever. For years, Margaret had solved every problem for her children. She packed backpacks, fixed school projects, handled forgotten bills, cleaned messes they should have learned to handle themselves. All out of love, but with painful consequences. So when Emily later called in a panic about forgetting to pay her electric bill, expecting her mom to fix everything, Margaret answered differently. "What options do you think you have?" she asked gently. Not dismissive, not controlling, just supportive. "Mom, I don't have time for this. Are you going to help me or not?" "Of course I'll help you. We can think through solutions together. If you need a place to stay tonight, you can come over. And tomorrow you can take care of the bill." The difference was subtle, but transformative. Margaret was offering support, not rescuing. And slowly her children began to change. Daniel started calling not to ask for favors, but to check in on her. Emily invited her to brunch, something she hadn't done in years. "You look happier, Mom," Emily said one afternoon over pizza. "I am," Margaret smiled. "I'm learning to love myself as much as I love you." 3. The turning point came the moment Margaret stopped chasing their approval. Confucius said, "The noble person demands from themselves, the petty person demands from others." Margaret stopped hoping for gratitude, stopped waiting for recognition, stopped revolving her life around their comfort. She focused instead on her passions, her friendships, her goals, her peace. And ironically, this is what finally earned her children's genuine respect. Months later, something happened that Margaret never expected. Daniel called on a random Wednesday night. "Mom, can I come over tomorrow? I need some advice." For the first time in years, he wanted her wisdom, not her service. That evening, sitting together with hot chocolate on the porch, he opened up about wanting to switch careers, less money, more meaning. Margaret didn't interrupt, didn't judge, didn't fix.
More visits, longer conversations, Friday drop-ins just to say hi. Sunday lunches cooked together. The balance had returned. And when months later Margaret became ill and needed surgery, something extraordinary happened. She told her children the truth, something she would never have done before. Emily stayed overnight in the hospital. Daniel handled paperwork and appointments, not out of obligation, but out of love. "When you let your children see your vulnerability," Margaret told me during recovery, "you give them a gift. You give them the chance to give back." Confucius himself taught, "Receiving with grace is as noble as giving with generosity." By allowing herself to be cared for, Margaret completed the family circle. 3 years later, she has a peaceful, mature, balanced relationship with her children. Not perfect, but real. When I asked whether she still feared loneliness in old age, she smiled with serenity only lived wisdom brings. "I'm not worried anymore," she said. "If they stay close, it will be out of love, not duty. And if life takes them far away, I will still be whole within myself." If you reach the end of this story, I want to ask 2 things. If this touched something in you, give this video a like and share it with a parent who needs to hear this. Tell me in the comments which part of Margaret's story you connected with the most. Was it the fear of loneliness? The tendency to overprotect? The loss of your own identity? Remember, the path to family harmony is a journey, not a destination. As Confucius said, "It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop." The greatest act of love for your children
might be, paradoxically, learning to love yourself. Not perfection, not sacrifice, but authenticity, balance, and mutual respect. And that is the kind of legacy that never leaves you alone.